Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the FTI Podcast, coming at you live on Facebook. And if you're listening to this or viewing it, it's either on Facebook, YouTube, or wherever you're listening to podcasts. What a weekend it was in racing. No, we don't have a guest on this week. It's just Chris and I. So I'm sure that the little viewer eyeball up in the corner of my screen is going to be a 0 the entire time. Hopefully it's not. Hopefully some people join in and view the show. But Chris, how was your weekend?
It was good. I always forget where my camera is, and I was just literally like,
Let me just
not.
Hey guys, let me just check my phone.
It was good. In the previous episodes, I've talked about not being able to access my mom's Spectrum account, which I was using to watch all of the lower division races, and ended up double VPNing my computer this weekend to watch sketchy streams, allegedly, that I found on allegedly Reddit.
So were those? So those were World of Outlaws, weren't they? Isn't that what you were talking about Saturday?
I found a truck one Friday and watched both World of Outlaws and Xfinity Saturday.
Oh, yeah, because I thought you were talking about World of Outlaws because you had mentioned, man, that red clay dirt at Charlotte is so beautiful.
They did like a drone shot or a helicopter shot, and you could just see it on the trailers and, in the air. And I was just like, oh, God, that would be awful.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to have to pressure wash all that crap off. And just imagine what is all the fans covered.
Yeah, your dad thought Wayne was bad that night. Dude, it looked terrible. If you saw some of the pictures posted this week by the teams, some of them were showing, the tires flat packed, and those just caked inside and outside with the red clay dust.
Yeah, that's nuts. Hopefully none of the tracks near us are ever like that, because I
it looked like it raced pretty good, but yeah, I don't know. The dust in the air looked like something else, man. It definitely looked like a safety glasses all around, which I kind of the beginning of the year I kept a pair in my camera bag, and once I realized like you don't get as much on the infield at Wayne, I never put them back in.
Yeah, I don't think I ever took a pair, just my sunglasses, and half the time I don't even like shooting with my sunglasses on.
I had to get a new pair because my sunglasses are ruined from shooting with them on.
Yeah, you did ruin those pretty good.
But I will be wearing the old ones next year to shoot with.
You don't want to ruin a second pair.
Yeah, their prescription, and it was like $165 even after my insurance. So yeah, I'm not going to ruin those ones this year. I was heating up dinner before I got on and trying to eat real quick, so I'm still like turning my lights on and everything.
Yeah, I know your candle isn't giving you a glow yet.
I lit a candle before we started for the ambiance tonight. But yeah, how was your weekend?
It was pretty good. What did I do? I can't remember what I did. I can't remember.
There we go. Much better.
I think we stayed home all weekend. We didn't really do anything. I went to stores.
We went to stores.
We went out to a coffee shop on Sunday out in Louisville. and then went to a park, and then we went to the mall.
I couldn't tell you the last time I've been to a mall.
And it was just as you would imagine going to a mall these days. Just I went into Hot Topic and cried on the inside because it's not how it used to be. It's not,
last time I went in, it was all like anime stuff.
Yeah, it's not good anymore. And I was, telling Gab, I was like, because they have like one wall that's just band t-shirts and all the trip pants and everything. And I was like, this is what the entire store used to be. It used to just be emo and goth kid clothing.
It's funny. Everyone's complained about that for years now, and it went away from that. A decade ago, it went away from that. So it's been more of like a Spencer's FYE for about a decade now.
Yeah, we went to Spencer's and it's exactly the same. It has not changed. So a little off topic, I had to look this up, but there are so many race fuel scented candles. Since you had lit that candle, I said, "What is it? Race fuel scented?" And these ones are. It's a company called Dude Candle, and of course, all of their stuff is like bourbon, race fuel, leather,
tobacco, and
aftershave.
Yeah.
Beer fest, hot grass.
Are they all $30 a candle?
Yeah, $20 to $30. Of course, motor oil scented. You can just off-road dirt, whatever that smells like. Pipe tobacco, sawdust. Take a hike. What does that smell like? Just dirt outside? Probably just smells like pine.
I was gonna say, forget your house smelling nice, like nice fresh linens or lavenders. I want my house to smell like dirt
or barbecue. They have a barbecue scented one.
Yeah, no thanks.
Like the aged bourbon. I want my house to smell like I'm an alcoholic. And the campfire. I have never wanted anything to smell like a campfire, not even a campfire.
My roommates love to have we have a fire pit outside and they're always out there burning something, and the dogs will sit out there with them, and I hate when they come in smelling like campfire.
That is the main reason when we talked about racing. That's the main reason I bought a propane fire table for my back patio. I was like, I do not want to deal with keeping wood somewhere at my yard and then building a fire and lighting it. And I was like, I just want to be able to go out there with a lighter and just turn the gas on, light it up, and be done. Be done in 2 seconds, have it on. And then when I'm done, I just turn it off and there's no cleaning involved. And maybe I have to buy, propane halfway through the summer, but it's still better than, keeping clean firewood. And because a lot of the times it was just pallets that I would break up and I would have.
Yeah, they do a lot of pallets and stuff like that. So then it's even worse because then you got all the chemicals and stuff smelling too.
One time it was around Christmas, and we have this tradition in my family to burn Christmas paper. And so I don't know why, but I got this cardboard drum from work, and I decided to just shove everything in that, and then I lit it on fire, and then and it had a whole bunch of like old wood inside and Christmas paper and all that. And then it burned a hole through the side and the flame shot up about like 10 feet in the air. I was like, oh shit. Like
probably not your greatest idea.
And I was like, that was cool, but it's not very far from my house or my garage.
Yeah.
But then there's just paper flying all over the place, falling down into my yard. And I was like, maybe that wasn't the greatest idea.
But racing this weekend. Last weekend of racing. Phoenix it's a racetrack.
It's a weird ass racetrack.
Dude, having the stands right there in the turn, or maybe that's the dog leg, but they show the like aerial shots on TV, and it's so confusing where the turns are, what part's the dog leg, because they cut the grass out.
I was looking at it, and I was like, what is this? Like,
yeah,
it's so confusing, this track. Like, I did not understand. Yeah, and there's no grass. It's just, was there grass at one point?
Yes, I think so.
It's just so sterile. Like,
yeah, it's
this up here. But like, yeah, where's the dog leg? Is this leg, the dog leg?
So you're in, I think, I can't see the dog leg would be like right where the stands end.
Oh yeah, I guess it doesn't show.
I'm looking at mine, moving mine around, waiting for yours to show up.
I don't know why it doesn't show the freaking cursor. That's so stupid.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a weird looking track.
Yeah, and then you have, like this whole pit area by the O'Reilly.
Yeah.
It is just like this dead area that's like, is that a wall? Yeah, I guess that is an inside wall there. Like, it's just, why? I guess to get safety vehicles out. Yeah, this whole section right here is stupid.
I saw
these
damn, that aerial's
NASCAR
old.
track. Oh, is this one old?
Yeah, because is that does it say Monster Energy? Well, no, Geico restart his own. Maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, it looks, I mean, Monster hasn't
that
sponsored.
Must be old, yeah.
But
I'm sure it hasn't changed much.
I saw at Charlotte when I was watching the Outlaw race, they have cutouts in their wall, on the outside wall, for safety vehicles. And
that's weird.
The little Outlaws UTV was parked in there at one point. So yeah. Google Maps time with Kyle and Chris.
We're going on a trip.
I mean, it looks like we're in a rocket ship. Yeah, see right there on the back stretch and then on the front stretch.
Yeah.
But that's where they were parking the little UTV.
Why didn't they just park it? That infield section looks weird.
That might be a little bull ring track right there.
Oh, okay.
They probably set up and do a little bull ring right there in the middle. I was watching the race. They had the photographers were way back. I mean, you would need
where the hell were those haulers parking? Over here?
Behind.
Oh my gosh, you can see my cursor now.
Yeah, it randomly showed up.
Oh, weird.
But
and then there's ZMAX.
4 wide.
Oh yeah. Oh, and then there's this place.
Is that ZMAX go-karts?
Who cares about this place?
Oh, it's
no, it's Charlotte.
Your cursor was on the little track, and I was like, "Is that the go-kart track?"
Oh yeah, I think that is the go-kart track over here. Oh, that's the Roval. Yeah, it's a weird track.
I think all Rovals kind of are.
Yeah.
But yes, back to the topic at hand. I don't know. It was kind of an outlaw.
It was relevant to the topic.
It was kind of an outlaws race. Brad Sweet, went flag to flag. I don't think there were any cautions. I don't know. I watched too much racing this weekend and didn't take any notes. So
he won't be going flag to flag next year.
Maybe, I don't know.
Not in World of Outlaws, he won't.
No, not in World of Outlaws, at least.
And
that was
that was the big news. I guess it's not really big news. It's expected news. There was no doubt that he was going to not compete in World of Outlaws and compete in his series.
But
why wouldn't he?
It did come out today that his team owner, Casey Kane, is going to kind of run not a World of Outlaws schedule, but, an outlaw schedule where he can pick and choose where he's going to race and everything.
Oh.
Did you see since we're talking about dirt, we might as well continue the topic, but did you see the news today that Fast on Dirt is taking over Speed Week in partnership with High Limit?
Oh, I do see that just right now.
Just now.
That I went to Flow Racing's articles page. And also Haley Deegan will compete in the Tulsa Shootout.
KFB's doing it, so
yeah.
We'll start seeing these names trickle in here for Tulsa and the Chili Bowl. Start trickling in.
Oh, and North Wilkesboro will be repaved.
Yep.
Yeah. William Byron will be in the Florida Governor's Cup. Whatever that is.
Probably a late model race.
Yeah, probably. Oh, it's New Smyrna. Yeah, so I think it's I know there's a lot of people out there that are a little butthurt about the whole All-Stars name going away. But I mean, who has a better name and recognition currently but High Limit?
They did great with their first season. I think buying a established series is going to be a lot more beneficial for them than trying to be a third competing series. Using the midweek racing, it's like a complement, or using the weekend racing as a complement to the midweek. So I don't know. I'm just waiting for schedules to come out. I just need to see the schedules.
So Fast that's the one that races at Wayne.
Yeah, all over Ohio.
Okay.
Some like Eastern Pennsylvania. I think they do Ohio Valley Speedway in West Virginia. So
I wonder if that's who we'll have to reach out for Speed Week to get credentials.
I don't know.
It'd be like, it would be so much easier if they're going to handle it to just handle credentialing for all of the event.
Yeah.
Like I wish more series would just handle their credentialing. Thank you, NHRA, for handling your own credentialing instead of leaving it to the tracks, because especially some of the bigger tracks in circuits are absolutely horrible at getting a hold of.
Yeah, we didn't this year with Mid-Ohio, we didn't get our credentials until what? The first race.
Yeah, and it was they had like an intern send out the email, and the email went to my spam folder, and I'm sitting there like, I put in my, like, first of all, that normally at January is when the season credentialing request form goes up, and they were like, no, it's not up yet.
Yeah, that's
And I
what
was
I
like,
was thinking.
okay.
It
I
didn't
was
go
like,
up till
now
like
it's March.
March or something.
It's March. Where's the link? Like, I need to know if I'm
Where's
gonna
the
get
link?
credentialed or not. Like, I'm planning for stuff. Like, this is not okay. I'm just bombarding. The great thing is, with bombarding them so much, they know who I am now. So when I do reach out to them, they're like, "Oh God, it's this guy. He's
Yeah, you're
reaching out
gonna reach
again."
out to Eldora this year, and they're just gonna immediately send you a no.
Yeah, they're just gonna be like, "Screw you."
You sent me 2 whole emails last year.
Yeah, you sent me 2 emails and you called me. How dare you call me? Maybe I
Well,
should
I
just
just
send a
wonder if
formal
like
letter. I'll send a freaking carrier pigeon and be like, "Hey, can I get some credentials?"
certified mail. They've got a
I
sign
will
for
have a
it.
court-appointed person serve them with the credential request.
Oh, but yeah, I mean,
Get
news is
freaking Harry
developing
Potter's owl.
every day on this, and I guess it keeps winter a little exciting. That
Yeah,
there's
it's silly season is just the schedule
yeah. Well, they
of high limit in.
if you watch Dirt Tracker today, um, he talked about the Outlaw schedule that it could be out in the next coming days, and that the Eldora date for not Kings, but the other big Eldora event that High Limit is taking over all of, where Outlaws used to be Friday night and All Stars was Saturday night, that could be moved to a different Ohio track. So maybe we'll get a Wayne County
Ooh.
or Attica or Fremont.
I'm sure it will go to Attica because it seems like if it doesn't go to Eldora, everything goes to Attica. And, you know, us over here on the eastern part of Ohio are just kind of SOL.
He had also mentioned Sharon Date possibly leaving too. So
Ooh.
I don't know. Maybe it'll be.
I mean, the last World of Outlaws race at Sharon wasn't that interesting anyway. I would love to see them actually move it to Wayne County. It would be nice to have Wayne County as a World of Outlaws. I mean, Sharon is a very nice facility, but Wayne just races better.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, all of that'll keep us very glued in to this, all this development of what we get to see for next year, because like we said, last week, it's been a month since the season ended and we're already clamoring for more. So
I know. I'm just like, now that NASCAR's done, dirt racing is completely done for at least a few months, like a month and a half. It's like, God, am I gonna have to watch the last 2 F1 races?
well,
Which
what's the final one? Is it Saudi Arabia or
Abu Dhabi,
Abu
I
Dhabi? I
think, is
saw an
Yas
article
Marina.
that with the tensions in the Middle East right now, that race might not even happen.
That would be crazy if Vegas is the last race.
I mean,
That
Max
would be,
already tied up the championship, so with 4 races to go. So
yeah. I mean, he has it. I don't think it. I think right now it's Alonso versus Perez for uh
second
second
place.
in the championship. Let's see here. Which that was a close race from what I saw on everything that yeah, Perez is at 258 points. Oh, Lewis Hamilton is up there at 226. So it's Hamilton against Perez. which that would suck again for Red Bull if Perez loses to Lewis Hamilton and they don't get, a constructors 1-2 again.
Yeah. After Max won just about every race this season.
Yeah. And I think Perez might be on the end of his contract.
Yeah, because there's all those rumors that have been going around that Ricciardo's going to take over and all of that kind of stuff.
Which would be weird to see Ricciardo Max again as teammates. We saw how Ricciardo liked that the last time they were teammates. It didn't go very well. I think there could be a move. I wish they would get Alex Albon in a better team. He seems to be performing a lot better. I mean, he's 13th in the points in a low tier team. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, his teammate, just Logan Sargent, is 21st in the points with 1 point. So I mean, he's performing quite considerably better than his teammate. But yeah, I'm a little excited for the Vegas race. I want to see how big of a shit show it actually turns out to be. Because everything on YouTube and TikTok and everything right now is just about how pissed off everybody is about not being able to see it. All the road construction, everything is bad. The hospitality, all the catering staff union is considering going on strike that week, and it's just there's complaints where they Liberty Media wanted $40 million to help out with the race from the local government, which is ridiculous since they're like a $27 billion company.
Yeah, I saw an article earlier this week that F1 could lose like $500 million on this race because
which it was a stupid race to do in the first place. There are so many great tracks around the world that they could have had this. Go back to South Africa or something like that instead of freaking Vegas. We don't need 3 of your shitty races in the United States. We don't need. We lost a follower with that, a viewer. They must have they must not like my language there. But yeah, we don't need 3 F1 races in the United States.
Yeah.
We have a perfectly good open wheel series who only races 17 races, and they're perfectly fine, and they have good racing. We don't need your stupid fancy racing. Cars. Way better racing. Yeah, there's my tangent. Look at me.
I know. I was going to say while you were middle of that, back in January, who would have thought this would come out of your mouth? That's a tangent straight out of mine, and you kept going. You were cooking. I was
going to go in the season, and I am a vehement F1 hater. I mean, I do find some entertainment in it, especially when they go to like the new tracks, or if they're racing in the United States. I'm a little, tuned in to what's going on. I could give a shit less what's going on if they're in some other part of the world, like unless it's like Saudi and there's going to be like another fuel,
rocket strike
a mile away from the track. It's just
I would not have expected that from you 9 months ago. But yeah, okay, back to the racing this weekend.
Yeah. What happened
29
this
minutes.
So, very fun man who is a driver for a team here in Ohio got drunk and had an interview. which of course I'm talking about Ben Rhodes and that whatever the hell that was actually pure gold.
Yeah. Go ahead.
It was just it was the best interview I've seen from anyone ever.
So yeah, the race was I watched the race live, and I've talked about this I feel like every week, but I get up for work at 4:30 in the morning, and it's past midnight. I'm trying to watch this race as they just keep wrecking. They just keep wrecking. I was going to go to bed before the third stage started, and then the dogs needed to go outside, and I let them out, and then I was like, okay, there's only like 30 laps left or whatever, and that's when Hocevar decided to wreck Corey Heim. Now, it, kind of on the fence. I was kind of on the fence watching the replay too. That I think Hocevar drove in a little too hard, ran out of talent, and that's what hooked Heim. But Carson has a track record of just right hooking everyone this year to get his way this year and last year. So, everyone immediately started blaming him. I mean, you had Cup drivers, you had media people, you had everyone criticizing him on Twitter, and then that started a free for all from there of just wreck fest. Every restart, I mean, I don't even know, they wouldn't even get a lap through, and there'd be another one, and then you had Heim getting his retaliation on Hocevar as Grant Enfinger is leading the race. Heim decides he's going to get payback and stuff Carson into the wall, and that's what started I think it ended up being 4 overtimes they went into. And one of them, Ben Rhodes, gets damaged because I was pulling for Ben Rhodes because selfishly I just wanted another drunken interview. But yeah, I don't think that race ended till after 1 a.m. And I was just sitting there just trying to stay awake. I mean, it honestly got to the point where it was funny. You had Cup drivers all over tweeting about what a mess it was. Let me see if I can find them on Twitter.
Yeah, was it Martin Truex, one of them?
Yeah, Martin Truex. Moonhead. He does iRacing streams. I do wish there was a way for me to stream more and commenting on truck races. Laughing my ass off tonight would have been fun because yeah, I mean it was just Chase Briscoe. Only thing this race was missing was the 99 blowing a right front tire in the last corner and pulling a Hail Melon. The Couch Racer account, the truck series is finally done for 2023. Everyone go get drunk, just don't drive. Eric Jones, get real. Chase Briscoe just turned. Oh yeah, this was like on the second or third green white checker. Chase Briscoe just turned on the truck race. Anything exciting happened tonight? Yeah, it was just, I mean, I was colleague racing, posting Justin Haley eating popcorn. It was just the social media admins were on point Friday night, Saturday morning. But yeah, one more thing, and then we'll get into Ben Rhodes and his celebration. Fox, I've said this all year long. Fox needs to step away from the truck series. That was a god awful commentary Sunday night or Saturday morning that they were. I don't even know if Fox was in Phoenix because they never did show the booth with the hosts in it. If it's the championship race and you can't send your hosts out to Phoenix for it, just stop. Just give up. You know, what brought this up is I had what I like to tweet from Danny B. The commentary hasn't helped this crazy race. Rubbing that Goodyear off that, and there's a Paul's tire. I mean, they were talking over each other like you and I talk over each other every week. And they're missing wrecks and they're late on wrecks. They're late on this call. Dude, that was one of the reasons I wanted to go to bed after the second stage, because it was just it was so awkward watching the commentary and trying to follow along. There was I was following a lot of the race on Twitter too, and there's a lot of people like, I muted the Fox broadcast and just put on the MRN broadcast over it because it was bad. Like I've said with the Mid Ohio, you don't even have your hosts there. You couldn't fly them out for the morning to come back. You just half-ass it, phone it in, and it really does show.
I mean, maybe NASCAR will take note of that in this 2024 deal. Probably not.
I was gonna say, as long as Fox is willing to pay up, I don't think so.
I don't know why NBC doesn't want it. I mean, I know NBC has a lot of racing already that they cover, with IMSA and the full IndyCar schedule and everything, but like, come on, can we get something better?
Yeah, Flow Racing, something.
Yeah, give it to Flow. Give it a Flow, please.
That way we could actually watch them.
Yeah, give it to Flow. They do an amazing job in the dirt world and everything else, really. I mean, Flow has their hands in so many things. I mean, they could probably bid for it, get it, and produce like an amazing show, because I mean, some of those Flow broadcasts are probably the best like commentary and race calling I've seen out of a broadcast.
Blake Anderson starting it with the now camping, or no, it's not Camping World. Wow, the Craftsman Truck Series started in 1995. Is it bad that I know that?
Yeah, and they'll rattle off the sponsors super quick. I mean, just have the same guy that does the high limit one.
That's Blake.
Oh, is it
Blake Anderson? I can't remember his last name, but yeah.
But he is amazing. And they're like the guy that they have on, trackside for the high limit. He's really good too. Like they just have quality over there. And then Fox is just like,
there's no chemistry between the hosts.
They're probably, are they even in the same room? Or are they like
so?
Remote?
I think they're just in the Charlotte studio.
Like, ugh.
But yeah, I would say probably the highlight of the weekend was Ben Rhodes, another interview. Yeah, the race winning interview, the shoey on stage, I got my champagne goggles, the chain. I feel like Flavor Flav.
So was that just part of the like championship thing that they gave him a chain? Like what was that? He just find a chain from somewhere?
I'm sure it was part of the thing, because I think that the part of the championship, because I think they've given those out before this year. But again, and this is why I had originally brought up Twitter, because I wanted to do this. And Pete Pistone, I think he works for MRN, but someone else had shared checkered flag dropped on the Cup and Xfinity races for being gray, Black flag for Ben Rhodes for his actions during his interview. It was a complete embarrassment to himself, his owners, sponsors to act like that. And Pete Pistone agreed. Burping into the mic and yelling dinosaurs don't exist was cringeworthy, in my opinion. But Dean Thompson had quote tweeted this and said, fans, we want more personality. Driver, personality shines. Fans, cringe. What do you want guys to do? Him to just be a stoic after winning the championship? Honest question. I mean, I agree with Dean. The reason Ben Rhodes is where he's at is because of that 2021 interview. And the reason why Ben Rhodes is probably Truck's most popular driver is because of these interviews, because he actually shows personality. We've talked about this a million times this season. What does F1 do best? Not the racing. It's the Drive to Survive drama and their social media content. You know, I try to keep my TikTok algorithm away from Formula One. But when you get a video of Max and Lando acting goofy, or Lando and Daniel acting goofy, or, you know, Yuki and who's Yuki's teammate?
Oh God, who is it? I can't. Oh, it's Ricardo.
Oh, well, yeah, prior to this, whoever got fired.
Oh, it was last year. Oh, Gasly.
Yeah, when they show those videos, it's great. So now you're telling me NASCAR, a sport built in the American Southeast, built on hillbillies, moonshining and rum running, it's embarrassing when a guy gets drunk and has fun and genuinely shows his excitement for winning the championship in your sport. That's cringe and embarrassing.
How is that one moonshine company not a sponsor of NASCAR?
What, the moonshine you can buy in grocery stores?
Yeah,
and everything?
I mean, it's good. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, give it to Ben Rhodes, number one character in NASCAR. You know, he seems like the nicest guy. We were talking with I was talking with Dan earlier. Oh yeah, it was in our group chat when I was like, man, I would love to party with Ben because he just seems like a hoot all the time.
I cannot believe he got Rich Lucius to do a shoey. Like, this is a man that I've met many times in person outside of NASCAR. Like, I know his personality, and that the funniest thing is seeing him do a shoey and seeing Ben pour his Bud Light on him walking into the interview.
Dude, so obviously after the race was over Friday, Saturday morning, I went straight to bed. I mean, I was watching it on my phone next on my nightstand, and as soon as it, you know, they did the interviews post race, you know, the on track victory lane interviews, I turned my phone off, closed my eyes, and went to bed. But yeah, Saturday morning when I woke up and it was just like a little like 15-second clip of like the highlights of the interview, and you see him walk on stage and just keep walking, dude, I was dying. I knew it was going to be great after that.
When they went to the press box, meaning whoever was in Charlotte, and he's just looking up, talking to him. Hilarious. Or he's
Bob Pockris from Fox Sports. Robert. Yes, Robert.
He's like, man, you look rough. And then the other media guy is commenting, like, man, you have nice hair.
Yeah. Jeff Gluck. Jeff Gluck from The Athletic. Jeffrey.
And he's like, you tried to fool me this year by taking me after, but I found a loophole.
But yeah, I mean, that's what I want to see. That's what I've complained all year on this podcast about, is NASCAR doesn't let their drivers shine. It's, you know, we went away from the 90s where the drivers were the spotlight on everything. You know, they were in advertisements, they were in this, they were in that on Facebook Marketplace right now. In the area, there is a Jeff Gordon Pepsi stand-up, cardboard cutout for $25.
All you get now is a Kubota commercial with
Tony
Tony
Stewart and
Stewart.
Chase Briscoe.
Yeah, I mean,
And you have the two Penske commercials of
you have
you can save at the pump.
You have the weird Bubba Wallace Star Wars commercial that's just weird.
Let me finish this thought and then I'll get to that. You had the save at the pump and the advanced one, I think, with Joey and Ryan Blaney, with both of those. But let me tell you, 23XI dropped the ball this weekend with merch and that the Star Wars Columbia collab there. It was shared on Twitter earlier last week, whatever. But you mean to tell me you have all of these graphic designers, probably some of the best you can get out there, and you just put out these lazy shirts of just the car and then like Bubba standing in his driver's suit?
It probably came down to licensing with Disney.
Yeah, you had to put Disney in there, but
Disney is very weird.
Why, I think it was Harrison Liu on Twitter. Why would you not put, you had Bubba in the X-Wing car. Why would you not do, the X-Wings off of his car? Tyler Reddick in the TIE Fighter wings on his car on the shirts and stuff. You dropped the ball. I'm a merch guy. You sent me the IndyCar season sale the other day, and I spent $41.
Yeah. If you're interested in some good IndyCar gear right now, go over to the IndyCar shop, and a lot of the jerseys are practically more than half off. They're like $24.
I'm wondering, that made me also think when I was looking through there, I wonder if McLaren's going to let IndyCar carry their gear next year.
They do now.
I know, but if you looked, the only T-shirts that were on sale, other than the jerseys, were McLaren. Yeah, because they had the Pato and the Rossi ones on sale.
I know there was no Rosenquist ones.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for, was a Rosenquist one. But yeah, I just, with the Ben Rhodes stuff, you wonder why people lose interest in the sport. Your most popular driver right now is the most boring person on the planet. I'm sorry, Chase Elliott fans. I was a big Chase Elliott fan. He was my favorite driver for a little while, but the guy has no personality. He's been media trained since he was 10 years old. I think we've gotten so used to these people that have just been trained to do this their whole lives, whether it be driving or the media aspect side of things, that when someone does show personality, someone does get a little wild, someone acts like the rest of us that do like this sport, no one knows how to react.
Yeah, but I mean, I think Larson is definitely taking over that role from Chase Elliott.
I've been meaning to ask this question for a couple weeks now, and I know it was brought up on, I think, Door Bumper Clear. But who do you think is going to be the most popular driver this year? Because there for a while, I thought Larson. I thought with all the high limit stuff he's done and everything else, winning races, it could be Kyle Larson. Door Bumper Clear, I know they brought up a good point that it could be Ryan Blaney this year. champion. He's already pretty well liked. And so it could be Ryan Blaney this year. You had Chase.
It's going to be Denny Hamlin.
Yeah. I think Bubba Wallace would have a better shot at winning the driver's most popular driver over Denny Hamlin. But yeah, I think it's going to come down to Larson, Blaney, and just the Chase Elliott contingency. The diehard Chase Elliott fans.
Yeah. Speaking of that, was Xfinity anything to really comment on, or
it was a race. It was probably one of the better races of the weekend. Nothing like super memorable where it's like, oh, you had a great battle. I mean, all right, maybe it was a little more than just a race. You had Justin Allgaier, one of the championship favorites, spin out like 7 laps into the race and have to fight his way through. I think he ended up back in the top 10 by the end of the first stage. But, you had him do the opposite of the truck race. He came in a little too hot and could have taken out John Hunter Nemechek, another championship 4 contender, and spun himself out instead of taking out a competitor. So you had the Xfinity race was the opposite of the truck race. So where you have the young, inexperienced truck racers, you had the slightly more veteran Xfinity drivers kind of showing how it was. You had John Hunter late in the race, I think on a late race restart, because there was a late race restart, but they got through clean. And, the only casualty of the restart was John Hunter going into the 7 wide turn 1 and scraping the wall, and he ruined his car, but, stayed green. They were able to race it out, and Cole Custer comes away with the win. SHR between Riley Herbst and Cole Custer really found speed at the end of this year. You had Riley getting his first win, and Cole, I don't remember the number, multiple wins this year. Deserving Xfinity champion. John Hunter was probably the best driver all year. It was probably John Hunter, Justin Allgaier, and then Cole Custer as your top 3. But one note on the Cole Custer, his victory lane celebration is also probably one of the best that we saw all weekend too. Him doing the Stone Cold double fist chug. Dan and I were being nerds in the group chat last night about that.
See, I did not get the reference at all. But I am not an early 2000s, 90s wrestling fan.
Guess you didn't know that Stone Cold said so.
I didn't.
But
so yeah, it was Sheldon Creed, the one that
was last week, the RCR,
everyone's least favorite person last week.
Well, he was RCR's least favorite person last week. Everyone else was on Sheldon Creed's side last week.
No.
It was just everyone at RCR hated him last week. Which is funny because if memory serves me right, if that wouldn't have happened, Cole Custer wouldn't have been in the Final Four for Phoenix.
So we were talking about most popular driver. I'm going to put this up on the screen here. You can actually go right now to the link below, NASCAR.com/most popular driver, and vote for who you want to be the Cup Series favorite driver or most popular driver. I don't know when the voting ends, but Who do we want to make? Who do we want to make most popular driver?
Well, at this point, I
Too
think
bad.
you
Like
want Denny.
Twitter needs to like get on this and just troll NASCAR. Just make it like the most obscure driver. Like just make it like Ty
BJ
Gibbs.
McLeod. He's selling he sold his charter and his team. So BJ McLeod is the
I don't know if he's even on here.
Probably not, because I don't know if he ran any races this year.
Yeah, we'll just make Ty Gibbs the most popular driver. Make Joey Logano the favorite driver.
That's another one that'll never ever happen.
I think I'm gonna put a vote in for Ryan Blaney.
But yeah, onto that race. I mean,
submitted my vote.
I think the Cup Series race was more of it was a race than anything. It was good, but I think compared to coming off of Martinsville and Homestead, and the only cool thing you really get at Phoenix is those 5 wide restarts. You're just kind of it happened.
The cactus flag stand's pretty badass.
That is pretty cool. Watching it change from yellow to green when they go green. That's
not as cool as Texas Motor Speedway's dancing caution lights across the fence, but it's pretty damn cool.
I do have to say, Sunday during the pre-race, NBC's pre-race show, they did a montage of Kevin Harvick. Kevin Harvick's last race. He's retiring and joining the Fox broadcast next year. But they did a montage of Kevin Harvick taking over for Dale Sr., and they cut to Dale Jr., standing in the track on the mic talking about it. And oh my God, was that enough to make a grown man go to tears? Because you heard Junior's voice kind of cracking in the middle of it, as he's saying stuff, and kind of definitely end of an era in NASCAR. And you could just kind of tell, like, Junior was doing everything he could to hold it together. And it's like, it was one of those, like, ooh, that one cuts deep.
Yeah, because he was the last Winston Cup driver.
Yeah.
So they're all retired.
Yep.
That is, every driver from the pinnacle of NASCAR is gone. It's
you have
youngins.
It's rough because you have like a lot of this of you had Jimmy go out in a fizzle, basically. Jimmy's final season in 2020 was about as good as his IndyCar career. You had
I forgot he was even
that's bad. 2 years. 2 years.
I forgot about that. That's how memorable that was.
You had Kurt Busch basically being forced to retire because of his injury, who was the last driver to race with Senior. And now you have Kevin Harvick, whose last win was more than a year ago at Michigan. So I was at Kevin Harvick's last win at Michigan. So kind of you kind of want these guys to go out on top. I think it was like, was it Door Bumper Clear or the Teardown, where they were talking about NASCAR, they should have let Rodney Childers mess with Kevin's car and let him win by a mile, and he gets to retire with a win.
I mean, 7th isn't bad to finish in that race.
No, he has one of the best winning percentages at Phoenix. Phoenix is probably one of his best tracks.
And that that race, I mean, getting into, the Cup Series race, I actually watched at least halfway through stage 2, and stage 3 was quite interesting. I I I think Ryan Blaney can really give it up to Kyle Busch for spinning out, or we would be having William Byron being the championship winner. Because it was getting a little hairy out there,
Well, you had,
especially after that restart.
for weeks now, I've been talking about, you had whoever was going to get out of pit road after the final pit stop, they were going to win the race. Yeah, I've been saying that for weeks now, and this is the first championship that hasn't happened in recent years. That Ryan Blaney didn't come out off of pit road first. I think it was Kyle Larson came off of pit road first, and it was going to be.
They were really close. They were,
it was
door to door,
going to be a
to the
repeat of
line.
21 of Kyle Larson coming off of pit road and just taking the race away. But Blaney almost lost it for himself in the battling with Ross Chastain there.
Yeah, that got a little. I mean, it got a little hairy. I thought Larson, Blaney, and Byron were all going to wreck each other out at one point with jockeying around, and Larson. I did he take the no, he didn't take the outside. He took the dog leg.
Yeah.
At one point, but then you had Blaney squeezed up against the wall by, I think, Byron, and trying to make it past there. And truly, I forgot Ross Chastain actually won.
Well, that was brought up too this week that no one NBC didn't even really show Chastain in victory lane or anything like that. They just went, I mean, it was straight to Ryan Blaney in his interview. But this is the first race in this format, I think, that the winner of the race wasn't the eventual champion. So is the camera dying?
Yeah, I forgot to plug it in, and I don't want to go all the way on the other side of my desk, so I'm plugging it into a power bank.
But yeah, I mean, it was a good race. It was a serviceable race. Stage 3 was, it kept you on your edge of your seat. You're kind of, well, who's going to get it? No one really ran away with it too much, but I don't know. I go back and forth on whether this one race format for the championship is a good way to decide the championship. Do you do a full year points? But technically, the regular season champion finished outside of top 10 in points.
Who was that? It was
Martin Truex Jr.
Oh yeah,
he finished 11th in points. I do have to say, Bubba Wallace there might have silenced the haters this year. He ended up top 10 in points. Yeah, it was 10th, but who would have thought Bubba Wallace would finish 10th in points? So, yeah, I mean, good weekend. I hate that racing's over now because I don't know what to do with my weekends. I know my mom needs help this weekend, so I have to go over there, but it's kind of like, what the hell do I do with myself now?
Especially this weekend. There is no racing.
Really?
F1's not racing this weekend. They're racing next weekend. So really, it's a dry weekend, which is annoying. Try to find what obscure thing is on Flow this weekend.
Marching band arts or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch a drum corps. Yeah, I mean, so next week on the podcast, at least we won't have to try to make up something about racing because we have another guest on. We have race car driver and car owner Ryan Prosser coming on next Wednesday. So that should be exciting. We had Dan on last week, so if you want to watch Dan's interview from last week, that's uh up on everything now. You can watch that. And then we have Ryan next week. And then we only have about 4 more episodes for this year after today.
Go ahead. I got finish up.
We're gonna probably break after the second week of December and take a good little month off for the holidays, and especially since there won't be much to talk about racing wise. But we do need at least 3 more guests to come on in that time. So if you're interested, there's a link up on the website or in the show notes. Chris, what was your thought?
A little bit of breaking news here that the ARCA Menards schedule was released. And even though there's no NASCAR series at Mid-Ohio this year, ARCA is going to be racing at the June date of the SVRA.
Oh.
So we will have some.
That's also what, TA2?
2. Yeah, I think so.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
that's a plus.
So yeah, there's a little bit of NASCAR news for us. Yeah.
The trucks might be leaving us, but ARCA's still at home. I mean, it's headquartered in Ohio, so
yeah, they're ending the season at Toledo again this year. So yeah,
but I don't think we're going to see Frankie Muniz.
That was all the rumors.
That also came out that he's going to be in Xfinity.
RSS Racing is the rumored destination for Malcolm over there.
Which is great. He deserves it.
Staying in the middle and mid-pack racing teams.
He worked. He did good this year, he might have bought his way into, an ARCA team because he just bought a team and everything, but he performed pretty good. At one point he was like first or second in points, and I don't know where he finished in the season, but he looked pretty solid, and that's great to see that he got himself a seat.
Yeah.
We also forgot to mention that every Wait, was it every championship winning car in the NASCAR
all 3
series were all Ford?
Swept the championship this weekend.
Damn Fords.
Which is funny because all season everyone was worrying or complained about the speed that the Fords were showing because they weren't showing up on the 1.5 miles and road courses.
Now, something was going around Facebook today, and I don't know if was this true? Are they doing an electric test at Martinsville?
I had saw some stuff about electric tests. They were actually supposed to, I think this year, 2023, or maybe it was 2024. They were gonna run 6 all-electric companion races at some of the tracks. It would just be like an exhibition series,
man, were the comments insane of just everyone. I don't watch it now, and I definitely won't be watching it if they do that.
Yeah,
it's like, chill the F out. Like,
it is
some of the Formula E races are better than Formula 1 races.
Yeah.
They're freaking nuts. I'd like to see a NASCAR race with electric cars. They're going to be so torquey and they're going to be lighter.
It would definitely be something fun to see.
Which is funny that the electric cars are lighter than the other.
Well, yeah, you got anything else this week?
No, I think that's it. We covered everything that really happened.
Championship weekend and no more racing till. I mean, I probably won't watch anything until the shootout, the end of December.
Yeah, I'll probably watch some of the F1 race just to see how bad it is next week.
But yeah, other than
that seems like it's going to be interesting and a complete shit show.
That's it.
But that's it. Tune in next week. We'll have a guest on. Again, if you're interested in becoming a guest or coming on, fill out the thing at the link below. If you want to support the show, there's links at the bottom as well. But that's all for this week, and we will see you next time on the From the Infield podcast. I don't